This fox has been in here. Let's see what it says. Dan Kinkle, collected 16th July 2014, Keith County on Highway 26. All right, in this fox we expect to find several kinds of parasites. In fact, the last fox that we looked at out here about maybe 5 years before this one was collected is actually, it was actually infected with tinea, and it had 15 voles in its stomach, and every vole in that fox also had tapeworms in the voles. The voles were in the fox stomach and small intestine, and the tapeworms were actually in the tapeworms in the small intestine of the fox were actually from the voles themselves. So I'd say, well, let's just look.
93 centimeters.
93 centimeters total length. So the tail is about 42.
40. With no hair.
Yeah, with the hair.
40 with hair. 46, 47.
47 with. All right. Well, this fox was collected by one of our associates out here named Dan Kinkle when he was in the field parasitology class 10 years ago, almost to the day that we're doing this necropsy. And what happened was he picked it up on the road, so it was a fresh roadkill, because when we went home the night before, it wasn't there. When he came in the morning, there it was. So he put it in the freezer, so it's been there for 10 years. And the foxes that we got out here before were full of Trichuris fulvus, which is the whipworm, the common whipworm of foxes. But in this fox, you can see the spiroid nematodes in the small intestine. They're probably some type of Physoloptera or something like that. They look like there are a few of them in the stomach, but most of them. Just to show you guys what it's like to cut open a fairly large animal, and just show, probably it's got 2 or 3 kinds of parasites. It probably has tinea, and it may have effective anymore. They've been in here so long. So, okay, so this is the mesenteries, if you want to see. This is the mesenteries. This is where this is the stomach, and the bottom of the stomach has this thing on it called the omentum. You see this part hanging right here? This is the omentum, and this is called the greater omentum, which is the bottom part of the stomach. And when people have really hard, fat stomachs, but they don't have any fat on their outside of their stomach, this is full of fat in their abdomen. So they say, I'm not fat, but it's all a huge, big layer of fat inside off of the omentum. Hang on to that. I gave it to you. I figured you guys already got it. Stick it in here. When you're doing a field parasitology class, roadkill animals are a good source of material for understanding what's out there, because we generally don't go around trapping foxes or badgers or other types of large carnivores for a course like this. But okay, he's got, he's kind of got locked jaw, so just hang it on his teeth. Okay, so now where was I? I was talking about. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take off the connective tissue from where just below the lungs. There we go. So now let's look. What we'll do now is look at the bladder. There's the bladder. We'll take the bladder out. And we'll look. So all the blood vessels and the esophagus comes through there. This is one of the lobes of the liver. Cut that off. And then in here is the heart and the lungs. So this is called the pleural cavity. You ever heard of pleurisy? That's when your lungs, when this cavity fills up with water or fluids. So I'm going to take out the lungs. When I first met Kevin, he said, we have this anteater. So the anteater died. Well, we died it. We killed the anteater because the anteater had had a broken skull. So we took the anteater. So we'll look in here and see if there's anything in the heart. Lives in the stomach of the fox. Oh, it's a vole. See, there's his tail. Here's another end. They just chew them up and swallow them almost whole. So what we're doing is taking off these mesenteric veins here. These are the veins and this fat that drains the intestine after the intestine has done its digesting. Let's see, what we got here. We're at the small. Are we at the end? I guess this is
Small.
that's the cecum, I guess, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Here, grab it. Okay, let's get you to turn it off. So what we're going to do here is just quickly look and see if there's anything that got loose. And after you've done this about 1 million times. So this is the end from the duodenum down. Nothing. Well, yeah, here we have some nematodes. Here we go.
I found them.
Looks like Tricharis. It's not, is it? Can you tell?
The bigger one.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Where were they?
Just some. Yes.
On the front?
Yeah. Just the small ones.
Yes. It's not. It doesn't smell bad. It smells interesting. It doesn't smell like this. This smells freezer burned. So down toward the posterior end. So there we go. Now we'll dump a bunch of water on there and just wash it out. I don't. We do kind of shake it around like this, and then we'll dump this in here. And then we'll pull anything down the drain there, because if you want to kind of find what the parasites are in there, you want to see them. And if you see them pop out, then you can stop what you're doing and retrieve them. But basically, the parasites all sink. So when you're doing this, basically everything that you want to save is at the bottom of this thing. That looks like it. So probably a male. I don't think they're Tricharis up in here, so they're probably some spiroid. This will make for good YouTube fodder.
This is great YouTube stuff.
Okay. So, find one?
Yep. It's pretty coarse.
Okay. That's a good one. So you just, this will catch the big stuff. There's one right there. Anyway, so that's basically. So now what? Should we look at this one more? Maybe take a picture here too. Maybe
I'm
like
doing
this.
both
How about? Yeah. Okay.
Got
Maybe take a picture here too. Maybe
I'm
like
doing
this.
both
How
videos.
about? Yeah. Okay. Teaching parasitology at Cedar Point is one of the best experiences that any professor could have, or anybody can have. Undergraduates, if they're helping to help out teaching, graduate students, if they're helping the professor teach. It's really amazing, because the process of discovery and identification of the parasites that we're finding in all the different organisms out here is just phenomenal. The students, when they start to find organisms inside other organisms, is palpable. They just are so excited and so interested in this, because 99% of the students in these courses have never looked in another organism to see what else is in there before. Usually they're exposed to other organisms by seeing them in their courses. They might see a pickled frog or a pickled pig, or a cat if they took comparative anatomy, and maybe squalus if they had a good comparative anatomy course. But in general, most students from the cities these days just don't have much experience with wild animals and their parasites. So this course is like one of the best ways to get experience with what kinds of parasites live in organisms around the area of wherever you're taking a field course, for instance. So it's a wonderful thing.
Yes, this video was shot with a little handheld Canon PowerShot SX710 during Field Parasitology 2024. If you're interested in more parasitological stuff, get a copy of my latest book, Life Lessons from a Parasite.